What's up, folks? It's Big Boy here with Fightrepreneur TV. We're here with my man Matt Gaither from MMA Madhouse, best radio voice in Florida last year, and my co-host for the recaps. And again, we got the handsomeness here, Matt. I mean, it's awesome. We're doing great. Listen, a great night over here at the AFC again, September 13th. We had some great fights tonight. We had a little slow start with the fights in the beginning, but towards the end we started picking it up and had some big leather thrown by some 170ers, some 185ers. So this was a great card tonight. Overall, what did you think about the performance of the fighters tonight?
Can we say no judges needed tonight? 11 fights, not a single fight goes to decision. Great fights. I know sometimes you hear that might sound bad, but good fights all night. From 1 to 11, good fights, good finishes. Great job by the ref, David Baguette, tonight. And there's no reason to have guys like Devin Rodriguez come out here tonight. I could have had a better night if he wasn't sitting next to me.
No judges needed here tonight at the AFC. The first fight we're going to talk about was Derek Barker from Team Trauma fighting Kevin Wilkerson. This was a great fight. Team Trauma brings it. Derek Barker came in and, man, caught this kid decent and it was over. What did you think about that hit?
Yeah, I mean, it shook the cage. I turned to my head for a second, and as I look back, he's connecting with the shot, and it just went out. So, I mean, it was a great finish, great knockout.
I don't think there's going to be much more, but I think that probably going to get knockout of the night. Do you agree?
It's going to be close because the knockout later in the night, Chris Pope out of Sweatshop, Slugger Reese's teammate, that was a pretty sick knockout that had his opponent kind of wondering what was going on for a few minutes. So,
I can't wait to see what the fans say about that. Let's get on. Good job for Derek Barker. Good TK or knockout for Team Trauma. These guys are coming to bring it. The second fight we're going to talk about was Josh Leduc. This guy's he's a Canadian. He comes in, great pedigree of grappling. Naga champion, Copa champion. This kid's tough, and he was fighting Jonathan Doby, a 205er independent. These guys were putting it in here, and man, this guy Josh was powerful. What do you think about him?
Yeah, I mean, you know, he softened him up with the knees. He took a couple knees to the midsection, and the dude was hurting. And then he just said easy setup for the key lock submission. Great finish, great stoppage by Bags.
Great grappling, good job, Josh, man, awesome. We hope to see you back again. Third fight of the night was against Greg Billington. This is a 1-4 fighter, and he was fighting a debut fighter, Deshaun Bentley. To me, this was pretty much Greg's day to, kind of show up and see if this is what he really wanted to do. And man, great job by Greg coming in and finding the submission. What'd you think about Greg's performance, Matt?
I've seen him fight before. I want to say once or twice, and not his best performances, but tonight I think he all around looked much better.
Yeah, pulled it out against Deshaun Bentley with a rear naked choke. Great job, Greg Billington. Next one was Davin Spadell, Irvin Garcia. Irvin Garcia is an 0-1 fighter, and Davin Spadell he's an 0-2 fighter. So that was a good fight, and we'll just have to skip to that one. The roster got a little crazy tonight. We had some fighters that didn't show up on time. These amateurs, when you get to the pros, guys, you're going to have to do this. The boxing commission is going to take a big fat hunk of your change. So, you keep it up, and we got to keep these cards organized. But let's get on to that Davin Spadell fight real quick. And Irvin Garcia, he pulled it out pretty good. Irvin did. He came out from Don Grady's school. And Spadell was just out and couldn't protect himself.
Yeah, just too many unanswered shots. Again, a great job by Bags to stop that fight. He was kind of wondering. He hesitated there for a second or two, but great stoppage. You got that many shots unanswered, you got to stop the fight. It was a great fight by Irvin Garcia, and a good showing by Grady's MMA. Yeah,
good showing by Grady's. Those guys are actually out there right now. So the two schools that are on top right now are Team Trauma and Team Grady. New Team Trauma. All right, this is the fight. This is arguably could be knockout of the night as well. Chris Pope versus Zenon Herrera. Zenon Herrera coming off a tough loss. Chris Pope coming in here hungry. He's got a few fights lined up in the next few months. This kid, him and his brother Stephon Reese are on a roll. Okay, what did you think about that knockout? Very powerful.
Phenomenal knockout. As I said, I think this to me is knockout of the night because he came with an overhand that just shook Zenon. Zenon's a good dude, and Zenon is coming off of a couple tough losses here, but this right here was just a phenomenal job landing that shot, and he put him out.
Way to be aware, way to stay alive. Remember, guys, that there's no timeouts in this cage, and always look alive. Good job, Chris Pope. We look forward to him. I think he's got another fight October 18th with me and Fightrepreneur and Rumble and Thunder in Crystal River, so we look forward to seeing him. Another fight we had, this was Carlos Martinez versus Zachary Pig. This was a last-minute fight. Martinez, his birthday, 42 years old, deciding he wanted to train and make a fight and make his fighting debut. All right, this guy came in here and trained. He's got his EKG, and he went against a young kid, Zachary Pig. And Zachary ended up pulling out the submission in the first round. Listen, what do you think about these guys coming in here at that age and putting so much effort into it and then actually doing it?
I think it's cool, man. You know, I think that if you, with the commitment, the heart, the dedication, who cares what age you are? And if you can get out there, there's a guy, and I feel really bad for his name escaping me. He trains with Bamboo, Garcia, maybe John Garcia, and I think he's mid-40s, and he comes out, you know, and he puts on good fights. Who cares what age you are, man? If you've got the dedication to come out here and really put the time in, train, get everything in shape to do it, man. All to you. Go out and do it.
John Garcia is that old, and nobody wants to fight him. Everybody's trying to put this kid on the card and can never find him an opponent. But listen, good job to Carlos Martinez coming out here. Great win, Zachary Pig. That's Team Reflex.
And a north-south choke, man. You don't see enough of those. Phenomenal finish.
That's right. All right, the next one I'm going to talk about was going to be, okay, this fight was hard. This fight was a last-minute fight. We had a 170er come down from North Carolina. His name was John Hoff. He came down from North Carolina, and his opponent didn't show up. So at the last minute, Joe Valdez tells me to call Sean Vaughn out of Live Oak, and Sean Vaughn comes through with this kid, Sean Brown, out of nowhere. But, man, that kid, Sean Brown, was amazing at 170. This kid's tough.
Yeah, he looked really good. He came out and looked like he had been training in a legit pro-style training camp. He was solid on all accounts, standing up on the ground, and he gets a verbal submission by Strikes. Anytime you see a verbal submission from Strikes, that's a good fight.
That was a good fight. Good job, Sean Brown. We look forward to seeing you more as well. Boom, now on to our title fights. This was a big title fight. We had Stephon Reese versus Chris Cornelius. Chris Cornelius coming out of Team Armory. Stephon Reese, the sweatshop. His brother had just knocked somebody out, so he had some great motivation going, momentum as well here in the cage. Great ref stoppage. What'd you think?
Yeah, I agree. Great ref stoppage. This, to me, could have been, probably should have been main event. These guys, I think, were the two best fighters that stepped in the cage tonight. Awesome guys. I've seen both of them fight a few times. Both coming off tough losses. Obviously, Stephon Reese against Dan Martinez. And then Chris Cornelius, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, here. No, I think he fought somewhere else. But he fought here the last event, I believe, and had a tough loss there. But both top guys, really awesome guys. Love to watch them fight. Slugger Riso was just raining down a lot of shots on him. And, you know, Chris was kind of staying covered, but he wasn't doing enough to really warrant to keep the fight going. Again, great stoppage by Bags.
Yeah. You know, I call the Reese brothers, or Pope and Reese are brothers, and they're the Smash Brothers. And tonight, man, those kids were unstoppable. I got them both on my card October 18th in Crystal River, so that's going to be fun to watch. Another one I want to talk about, Eric Farmer, Steve Rochelle. Eric Farmer, again, coming from that Team Reflex out of Valdosta, Georgia. That camp there is blowing up. They come down here every event. They give us great quality fighters, and it was amazing. Stevie Rochelle coming off a big win. I think 2 wins in a row right now with the new Team Trauma. Man, gets caught in a guillotine, slips, loses, but listen, that can happen to anybody.
Yeah. No, again, you know, these are two great teams. Reflex MMA, as you said, anytime they come down here, they bring 3-4 guys, and they're putting on great fights. Their guys are always doing a good job, so congrats to them on getting the big win. Stevie Rochelle has been on a pretty good tear lately. New Team Trauma altogether, as a school, as a team, are doing awesome things right now. They had the last weekend at WCFL, their girl Angel, in a really awesome fight of the night out there, I believe. So, and then they got Jeremiah McDougal, I believe, who's going to be fighting again soon. Patrick Corrigan, who's always tearing people up. So they're doing a lot of good. These are two good schools. It was a good fight. Great win for Eric Farmer, defending his title. And then having his mom surprise him. He didn't even know she was in the house. She flew down from North Carolina. He told her not to come because I guess the only 2 fights he's lost, she was there to watch him. So he said, "Mom, I don't want you here."
He didn't even know she was coming.
She surprised him. He leaped over the cage after the fight, seeing she was there. So that's kind of cool. Congrats to him defending his title. Always love to see somebody defend their title, especially in the amateurs.
Absolutely. Good job, Eric. Good job. Now, this was a great fight. Let me tell you, this has got to be one of the most amazing first rounds period ever in Arena Fighting Championships history. It was John Lewis, Joe Boxer they call him, all right, versus Lorenzo Hunt. Okay, these guys are 185, and let me tell you something, they came out throwing leather. Wow.
It was some phenomenal stuff. I really thought that we were going to see somebody get knocked out. They were throwing some really hard punches. They sounded like heavyweights the way they were throwing punches in there. It kind of sounded to me like like if I had closed my eyes, I'd have thought it was like Dominic Tominelli versus Oleg Koronovsky in there or something, you know. But that's how heavy they were throwing, you know. But this, you know, it's just an unfortunate way for it to end with the not being able to answer the bell there after the first round. Just whether it was just cardio or adrenaline dump or just dehydration, whatever the issue was, I hope that he'll be okay. A good win for Lorenzo, though. You know, it's a tough way to see a fight end, but as you said, phenomenal first round, and we got to see that at least. And good win for Lorenzo Hunt.
Yeah, it was a good win for him. I think John Lewis just took a little too much damage in that first round. There was twice where he got caught decent, and I don't think that he was able to finish that. Main event of the night, okay? This fight was great because I did not think Bill Swift had jiu-jitsu like that, okay? Maurice Graham, a guy who's known for jiu-jitsu, Momo, gets armbarred by Bill Swift from USA Kickboxing. Man, listen, that fight was exciting, but man, I never would have expected that.
Yeah, I mean, the transitions in the first round were next level, dude. I mean, he kept going, you know, trying to switch back from the triangle to the armbar, triangle to the armbar. The control he had on the ground was just phenomenal. Momo Graham landed some shots, which Dollar Bill Swift took in and was absorbing quite nicely. But he had complete control on the ground in that first round. You go into the second round, Momo gets the takedown, but he goes right back into where Bill Swift wants him. Ends up trying for that triangle again. If I could say one thing to Bill Swift, man, get that arm over. He could have had that triangle. But it was still phenomenal work from him. And sure enough, he transitions to the armbar and gets a nice finish. Great
job. Bump those hips, Bill. Bump those hips. Listen, it was a great night again over here at AFC. We've got another card planned in November. These fights were amazing. The crowd was great. We had Matt Gaither here. We had D-Rod Rodriguez here. Devin Rodriguez, RFC fighter, is one of our judges. Man, listen, JA Productions was out here. So this was an amazing event tonight. We're going to have some great footage, great film. This is like the third recap show we've done.
Yeah.
We're blowing up. It's about time for us to go to ABC or something, Matt. What are we going to do?
Fox primetime, buddy. That's
right. Listen, big boy here with Matt Gaither. This is the AFC recap show. We got another event coming. Come out October 18th to Crystal River. Fightrepreneur presents Rumble and Thunder. That's our next AMI show. Gaither's going to be there. You know what? I'm trying to get this guy to fight.
That's not going to happen. I'm way too. Devin Rodriguez wants me in the cage, but I've never even seen him get in the cage. So
yeah, Devin, nobody's ever seen Devin train before, so you'll be all right. Listen, Matt, tell us about your sponsors. I always want you on a show. I love your show. You're one of the best radio shows. I always listen to it. You know, I'm always there ready to call in. Tell everybody about your sponsors.
Intimidation Clothing, as always. Check them out, intimidationclothing.com, MMAmadhouse.com, ProAmBelts.com. They make these beautiful things here. And just YouTube.com/TheMMAMatthew. And then Cage Zombies Radio on Facebook, at J23Journalistic on Twitter.
Boom. You heard it from the man. Listen, folks, thank you so much for watching Fightrepreneur TV. We're on point and on time all the time with your news.